Welcome everybody to the live April 20th edition of They Cast from the Coast Roundtable. My name is Adam Miles. I'm joined as always by Tim Johnson, Josh Lambert, and Aaron Peerless. How you guys doing tonight?
Decent.
Meh. I'm all right.
Always with the mess.
Meh.
Always with the meh.
Meh.
Well, can't blame you. Can't blame you. It's been a heck of a week there, guys. And before we actually start off the episode tonight, the first thing that we wanted to do was just kind of give mention to the situation that actually unfolded in Nova Scotia, where we're all from, recording this and all. This weekend, as a lot of people know, there was an unfortunate situation that unfolded yesterday, actually Sunday, where a mass murdering asshole basically killed a whole shitload of people. And you know what? It's a terrible situation. I mean, you hear this kind of stuff in the news often, unfortunately, but very close to home, this kind of thing just never happens. And you know, from everybody here at They Cast from the Coast, you know, our hearts and love goes out to the families and the friends of everybody affected. And you know, it's terrible. It's been on my mind, as I know it's been on everybody's mind since it happened yesterday. And tragic, guys.
Scary stuff, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is not, I mean, it just goes to show that this kind of stuff can happen anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, crime central in the middle of America or whatever, but it's definitely, like, I'm still stunned.
Yeah. No, it's a terrible, unfortunate, very tragic incident, and I, for one, will not be speaking the person's name. I will only ever really post about the people whose lives were lost in honor of them. So, you know, and I recommend that other people do the same, because the worst thing that you can do is give this person any kind of recognition, absolutely at all, and that's how I personally feel on it. So, okay. Well,
yeah, we're not forgetting that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's for sure.
So with that, once again, lots of love to everybody out there personally affected by this, from They Cast from the Coast. And remember, people, mental health lines are out there and available. It is a difficult time for everybody, so reach out, say hi to somebody, even if you just need to talk, and we'll move past this all together. And it's going to be tough, though. So, all right, it is unfortunately something, you know, a little bit drab to start the discussion of the night off with, guys, but hopefully we'll have a good night discussing the topics ahead of us, and you know, kind of work on getting some positivity going again. But first and foremost, let's go around the table real quick, see how everybody's week has been. I'm going to start off with Josh. How the hell are you, buddy?
Oh, you know, pretty good. It's another busy week.
Yeah. It wasn't meh.
Yeah. No, I don't have meh weeks.
Okay.
Unlike Tim, who's always with the meh. No, I.
Don't you fucking judge me.
No, pretty good week. Lots of work and a little bit of relaxation. Watched a couple movies.
Ooh, always a fun time. Extra little bit of time watching movies. Anything spectacular stand out? Anything new to you?
Well, I did watch Monster Squad, which I hear is going to be an upcoming review episode. So that was pretty
totally
exciting.
Just let the cat out of the bag, didn't you? Just lay it all out on the table. Who gives a
Show them everything else we're going to fucking watch and do a show on, Josh.
My. Yeah, so I've actually never seen this movie. Surprise, surprise. So that was kind of a fun movie to watch.
Nice. Excellent. All right. Well, thanks, Josh. Moving on. Tim, how you been?
Back to you, Adam.
Nice.
What?
How you been, Tim?
I'm okay.
Yeah, how's your week?
I mean, meh.
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 I'm okay. Just busy doing what I always do. Fucking editing photos and revamping a show. Just fucking coming up with new layouts and openings and name tags and
Yes, which
it's a thankless job, but I did it.
Everybody out there who's paying attention there tonight, you'll notice that everything is different. Tim has spent a lot of effort revamping the show for us, so we have a new look and feel because we have a more permanent fixture on the show with us, Aaron, and whenever Jamie's available, she's jumping on too, so we had to give Aaron and Jamie an extra little spot there because it was just kind of not looking right, cramping them into
unbalanced.
It was unbalanced,
not professional, and not polished, shitty looking, and
all right, shut up, Tim. So,
anyways, the only thing that I really did that's kind of horror related was I beat my replay through The Last of Us, and I'm currently going through Days Gone.
Nice.
Which is also pretty badass.
Yeah, I remember being over to the house when you guys just got that and watching you play it for a little bit, but I never got into it.
When you can get attacked by a 200+ horde of zombies all at once running at you and you're trying to run away, it's kind of terrifying. But only at the start, because then once you get used to it, you're like, I'm going to kill every one of them, right? which can be done, but like that fucking like shock value of all these fucking zombies clamoring at you, it's holy shit, this is terrifying.
I agree. I love that game. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely on the list of games to play.
It's got really good soundtrack, so it really immerses you into that. It's kind of terrifying at first. I found it. I was like, holy shit.
Well, the thing is that I bought it originally the day it came out, and it was glitchy as fuck, so I took it back, and I got something else. But then, maybe about a month later, I started hearing like, hey, they fixed it, they updated it, and all this kind of stuff, and, they didn't mean to ship it that way, and all this kind of shit. And so I decided to give it a go, try it again. And, like, the story is what got me. Like, it's kind of boring for the first 10 hours, but once you get that 10-hour, well, what I mean is it's not boring in the sense that, like, it's just the story doesn't have momentum. You're doing, just going around and helping these different camps and all that. But once the story kicks in and, like, the character arc, it's amazing. And
I don't think I could commit 10 hours to a boring story.
Well, it's not that it's boring. It's just, I don't know. I'm not my
Give
words
it justice.
aren't, my words aren't doing it justice. It's not a boring game. It's just the story really kicks into high gear 10 hours in.
I see. Did you ever play DayZ?
No. I know what it is.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that one you were telling us about before. It's like an MMO almost.
Hyper realistic simulator, yeah.
Yeah. I keep seeing it go on for sale, and I want to, crack and buy it, but I find that when you get into a game like that where you will actually encounter people online, if you didn't get in on the ground level, you're fucked. It's just not enjoyable at that point, right? Like, why bother?
Also, playing online with people in like a game where you're supposed to kind of be. Yeah, it's people are dumb.
Yeah.
Just I'll play by myself.
I played in the alpha and like the beta, and that was super fun because it was pretty low key and there wasn't a whole lot of fucking goofballs. But I'm sure, and right now it's probably full of 14-year-olds that are sitting at home because they're not in school, telling you how they banged your mom and how you suck.
I was literally about to say that, telling you how about they're about to bang your mother,
bang your mom and shit. Yeah,
great.
I'm all about the single player campaign myself. I'm not a big fan of heading online and doing that stuff. If they got a good single player campaign, I'll play through it like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
The only game that I ever invested into that was strictly multiplayer at the time was Friday the 13th. And
that's different though. That was a very niche, different kind of online game.
Yeah.
Right, where you got 5 people against Jason. Like that's.
Yeah. And even then, all the updates that they released, there's actually like a single player campaign now. Well, it's challenges, and they're actually pretty fun as shit too. I was running through them there over the other weekend. It's like random stuff, like a scenario is playing out in front of you, and it's like a checklist of things that you can do. It's like slam this guy's head underneath the hood of the car when he's fixing it. Take this guy out while he's taking a leak in the woods. You know, random shit like this. So like sometimes you go back and you play the same scenario a couple of times to try to figure out the best way to sneak up behind somebody and break their neck or some shit. It's pretty fun. So.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Moving
I think
on.
the last one I played online was Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
4-player on your team, right?
Which I heard that they might be coming out with another one.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. You'll probably see it for the next gen, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. Oh, well. How was your week, Aaron?
My week was good. Or meh. I've been down at the studio, right? Since we don't, we're in lockdown and stuff. It's still kind of a place I can go to without any hassles. So I go down there, sculpt, and working on a couple of latex masks and stuff, just to keep all the, all of what I learned kind of at the fingertips. Yep.
Nice.
So watched a couple movies, played a lot of Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I've been big. Yeah.
I beat Resident Evil 3 on the easiest setting and got like a C rating. So I'm pretty sure I just suck at video games now.
in your age.
I remember like speed running that game in like an hour and a half and getting S ratings, and now I'm getting C's on the easiest rating.
Terrible yet funny. All right, gentlemen, we have some topics tonight that we want to discuss.
What did you do this week, Adam?
Aw, I thought nobody would ask, so I was just gonna move on.
He dyed his beard.
Extra red.
So it's not so orange, maybe. That's why I'm wearing the orange.
It's still
sweater.
fucking orange.
It's still fucking orange. No.
Me and Aaron are both got like red lights going on, and your beard is still redder.
Right.
True. Accurate.
Oh man, no. I caught up on a couple of TV shows and movies. Me and the kids decided to go back from the beginning and start binge watching Supernatural from the beginning. I love that show.
Nice.
It's crazy. Love that show. And actually, I'll tell you, I did catch one movie today. Actually, when I got up really early this morning, as I was getting ready to go to work, to work from home, I turned on Netflix and ended up watching it, in spans over the day. There's a movie on Netflix. It's one of those, this is so awesome, you gotta watch it movies that are always being fucking toted. Freaks.
You get duped into these movies
Every
all
time
the
we
time
get
too.
duped.
Do get duped into these fucking movies. So
Every
That
time.
is the greatest movie. It's gotta be.
it's gotta be the greatest fucking movie. Some
This
random
time-
fucking
this time
website.
it's gotta be.
This website that didn't exist yesterday said it is. Yeah, no, the movie fucking sucked. I'm sorry.
Of course it did.
Imagine that.
I don't even know. Like, I mean, I'll just fucking spoiler it right the fuck out. The trailer makes it out to be something like there's something going on in the outside world. This father and daughter are living in, in isolation from what's going on outside, some sort of a pandemic. And it's like you can't trust people and all kinds of weird shit going on. He's got all the, the fucking doors and windows covered and everything else. And as it turns out, the movie's called Freaks, not because of the freaks outside. There's not like, fucking
They're the
mutants and freaks. They're the...
Do they M. Night Shyamalan you?
Yeah, they fucking... What a twist! M. Night Shyamalan, yeah. They're the fucking freaks, and they've got, like, superpowers, like, superhero abilities. It's almost like a superhero origin story.
Okay.
And it, like, turns out, like, the daughter's, like, super fucking powerful. She can basically tell you to go put a gun in your mouth, and you will.
Sounds lame.
It was kind of fucking lame.
The whole point of superhero origins is there has to be already an established superhero
Yeah.
that they then tell the origin of.
Yeah, and in this, it's like you find out like 3/4 of the way through that it's basically super powered human abilities, and you're not like some sort of a fucking monsters on the outside world and shit this. But whatever. If I really wanted to waste my time, I'd probably say rated S for shit and do a whole review on it. But I don't even feel like giving it a whole fucking review because it's like, fuck it.
Wow.
It's terrible. But it's rated
It's
S for
just
shit.
so meh.
It is so
We should
mad.
do
It's Tim's week.
We should do a fucking whole video of like all the time, like a
Supercut?
compilation, a
Yeah.
compilation of Adam's fucking getting duped by these movies.
I should go back and I should do a rated
Like
S for
it would
shit
be like
episode.
an hour long.
And it's just all these fucking Netflix movies that are supposed to be amazing that I watched, and it's like, this is bullshit.
It should start with Adam talking about this new movie that's on the horizon that looks so good.
and
then his response after watching it.
No, then he got like Tim's voiceover. And that's what usually happens, folks.
Yeah.
It happened.
And it was at this moment Adam knew he fucked up.
Again.
Semen started coming out of the light sockets.
Semen out of the light sockets. That was a fucking terrible one, too. But anyway, moving on. Gentlemen, we do have topics of conversation for tonight. We've got a few really good ones tonight and a couple of, I want to say fillers, but it's still interesting stuff to talk about. So let's get right down to it, shall we? First topic of the night. Discuss, gentlemen. Trivial Pursuit Ultimate Horror Edition is being released.
Is this filler? Is this one of the filler ones?
This is
It's the top of his list.
top of the list. Let's get this one the fuck over with first. Actually, it was the first one submitted to me, so it's the first one that I put on the list. So, about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, Trivial Pursuit released a deck of cards edition of horror, Ultimate Horror Trivia, and it was basically meant to be played on a standard Trivial Pursuit board. But now, apparently due to the popularity of it, they've gone full out and they have a whole board game edition that's strictly horror, and it's got some pretty nifty looking, character pieces with like a brain with a meat cleaver in it, a deformed baby doll, straitjacket.
Like the little baby head.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy looking shit. So this is interesting though, but this game is, for the most part, I see a lot of people in the horror groups that I'm on Facebook playing this game, or they like do one of these like we'll do a topic tonight and see who gets it right, no cheating type of thing. And there's a lot of self-proclaimed horror nerds, myself included, where some of the fucking questions are like, I had no fucking clue. And they're random weird shit, some of them too, like...
Well, that's Trivia Pursuit.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how smart you are.
Yeah, there's...
Doesn't matter how big of a horror nut you are. They'll hit you with some fucking Ouija shark question, and you'll just be lost.
What color was the shirt of the mother at the time that her boy was getting eaten by Jaws in the first movie?
Jeez.
Blue.
Probably was, Tim. Probably fucking was. But yeah, like, it was just random weird shit, so. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a board game enthusiast. I'm a horror enthusiast. I'll probably get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fun. I mean, I always found Trivial Pursuit, when it was themed, fun. Like, the regular, just standard game, I found boring, because it's like...
Dude, we're not smart enough.
I don't fucking know
know
anything.
science and fucking art culture and all this shit.
I don't know science.
The best themed one I ever had was we actually bought the Saturday Night Live DVD edition. And it was great because they would just play like random clips on the DVD of some of like the best fucking sketches, and then they'd ask the stupid question about it. It was actually really fun. So.
Is the answer always more cowbell?
The answer is never always more cowbell, but it should be. All right. Next topic, gentlemen.
Next topic.
Albert Wesker from the famed Resident Evil series gives a PSA on the current pandemic events. This was funny. So, Josh, I think you put this one out.
I did. I'm getting a kick out of all of these. Like the Wesker one, not necessarily the best in the world, but it was still comical. I'm getting a kick out of all these fucking horror icons getting up there, and even just celebrities in general getting up there and doing little skits while they're in their lockdown in their mansions.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, it is kind of funny, and we tend to see probably a good 2 to 3 of these go out per week. Actually, yeah, it's just random bullshit. And in Canada, we have some of the better ones that have come out here recently. I didn't put up a picture for it or anything, but if you grew up in Canada, then there's a very famous safety video that went around back in like the 90s. Don't you put it in your mouth? And for anybody who's never seen this, you got to fucking look this up. The two little blue fuzzballs thing. Don't you put it in your mouth? Don't you stuff it in your face? Well, they did a pandemic one. It was called "Don't You Leave Your Fucking House," and it's amazing. It's hilarious as shit. And it really.
Adam, always the rebel, said the moment he saw that as a child, he will not adhere. So he always puts it in his mouth.
He loves putting things in his mouth.
Did that come out around the same time the safety videos, the work safety videos came out, where the guys were being like impaled with a
Oh, probably.
Oh, like was that Forklift Johnny and shit like that? Those ones, the German ones.
That was wicked.
Those are great, man. They did some good gore for that shit too.
Did they ever forklift going through the wall, impaling the guy having a sandwich?
Yeah, those are good. Those are good. All right. Take a look at that if you haven't seen that there, folks. Albert Wesker giving a PSA on the current pandemic of events. That's great. Moving on, next topic. This one is absolutely amazing because it actually plays into something that we talked about on the last live episode. J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot Pictures, and HBO are coming together, and HBO has ordered Overlook, a series prequel to The Shining, potentially based on the story that we already talked about that was for an unmade prequel script about the creation of the Overlook Hotel. Now let's just think about that for a second. The granular view and vision of what HBO can produce with things like Game of Thrones and shit like that. Chernobyl.
Well, I mean, even their smaller shows like Sopranos and like HBO makes good shows.
Yeah,
they do.
It's pretty crazy when you call Sopranos one of their smaller shows.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, when you think,
true.
Yeah, when you think of like, you know, it next to the scope of, you know,
Right.
Game of Thrones, or like you said, Chernobyl, or even Westworld, you know, like it's kind of small.
Crazy.
Right?
They got some massive production values.
They do. Now, here's the interesting thing about this is that even though it's a discussion based initially around...
Nice picture, by the way. That you
I thought you'd like that. Even though it's a discussion around basing it on the prequel script that's apparently floated, the one thing that HBO has apparently noted is, and I read this to say, HBO Max has handed out a production commitment to a 1-hour drama, so at the very least a pilot, described as a horror thriller exploring untold stories of the Overlook. So this is going to dig deeper. This isn't just going to be the creation of the Overlook. This is going to be...
It's going to be like an anthology type of thing.
Like random stories of people coming and going and dying and shit in the hotel that might have caused, you know, the feeding frenzy for the energy.
Do you think we'll finally get the story of the dog suit man?
Maybe.
That's why the picture's there.
I feel, wasn't that a Kubrick thing though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just like what happened with, you know, Dr. Sleep, they could very well, you know, give homage.
I would certainly hope that this prequel takes into account the Kubrick world and the Dr. Sleep world.
Yeah,
I
just
would
combine all. Yeah, combined the Stephen King version and the Kubrick one.
It would only get better if Stephen King wrote like an episode at least himself to say, here's a story I always wanted to tell about one of the, you know, visitors to the Overlook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's impressive. That's a really cool thing. So you know, we'll see some more as that goes. Next topic of conversation, which is interesting yet again. J.J. Abrams not only signed on with Bad Robot, like his company Bad Robot with HBO, to do the Overlook series, but they're being tapped to create a Justice League Dark series for HBO. Now, why am I mentioning this on a horror podcast and web series?
Yeah, Adam, why?
Because
the Justice League isn't a horror property.
No, you're correct. It isn't. But Justice League Dark is considered horror property. Just because Justice League Dark is literally one of the basic, you know, runners of Justice League Dark is John Constantine, who we've seen in horror movies and stuff like this. But essentially, it's the underworld of the shit that the Justice League, being the superheroes, doesn't deal with, because it's like possessions, demonology, all this kind of other underworld hellish type bullshit that has nothing to do with the superheroes beating off. That's a bad term, but you know, but beating away
don't you put it in your mouth.
Beating away the bad alien creatures and shit
bad.
visiting this earth.
You heard him, folks. Don't let him backtrack.
Maybe that wasn't a flub. Maybe I meant to say that. You don't know how they disperse the demons. I have exorcised the demons.
This house is clear.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Who's that guy that does the aerobic videos? Richard Simmons.
Okay.
See him in an Exorcist movie
No, not even going there. Not even
with
going
Gary Busey.
there. With Gary fucking Busey. Yeah, so Justice League Dark. It could be interesting because DC, very popular lately for, well, in the last couple of years for putting out the animated
I can't
features.
take the rest of this topic serious.
I can't. I'm having a fun.
Well, let's see if you take this topic seriously. Moving on to the next topic then, Josh. Sam Raimi has 100% confirmed that he is in fact signed on to direct Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And they are pushing for a release date of November 2021, which means that as soon as things are kicked off for what's going on with this pandemic, their principal photography is going to kick off as soon as possible.
See, the thing is that I'm really excited about this because I enjoy Sam Raimi as a filmmaker. But I'm not shocked by this because I watch a bunch of like fucking YouTubers that actually have like inside fucking
And they called this
shit.
a while ago, eh?
And they already said that it was confirmed, right? And like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and go, I believe everything that these people on YouTube say because they said it. But like for me, their track record, this one particular YouTuber, his track record is really good. So yeah, I already knew this, but it's still awesome fucking news.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
This annoys me.
Why?
I'm gonna have to watch all those Marvel movies to get caught up.
Yeah, not all of them. You're not going to need to watch all of them. But
Which one is Doctor Strange in?
A bunch of them. So you're gonna have to watch all.
You gotta watch a bunch of them.
You might as well just start from the start.
That's what I mean. I ain't got that
from the
kind
start.
of time. There's like
Yes,
15
you do.
movies you guys
Yes,
said.
you do. Yes, you do. What are they at now, Adam? Like 23 movies so far?
That's obscene.
What are you saying, Aaron?
I haven't seen them either.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a superhero movie since the Wolverine movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you guys are missing out because some of them are really fucking amazing. Seriously.
Yeah.
Some of them are
now I'm
fucking
gonna have to
amazing.
watch them all.
Well, everybody got emotional for the last one, didn't they?
What was that?
Like, they got really emotional for the last one.
Well,
die.
The best. Holy shit.
Endgame. Well, it was Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
And both are like 2.5, 3 hour movies.
Jeez.
But really, it's one giant movie, right?
Right.
Just part 1, part 2. But
yeah.
I could watch American Werewolf in Paris like 6 times in that span.
Oh, broaden your fucking horizons and enjoy yourself. Jesus,
I will see myself watching American Werewolf in Paris.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Take that.
Fine. Taking it.
I'm always glad to see Sam Raimi's name in the headlines, but always a little distraught when he's not working on horror. But he's got to pay the bills.
This is going to have horror elements. It's not straight up.
What does that even mean?
It's because the
Multiverse of Madness.
The Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is going to be fighting fucking demons, and he's going to be going.
What Doctor Strange does? He opens portals. He shoots laser beams. I don't know.
Anyways, moving on. I don't have time to explain.
He's got a key.
The entire Marvel MCU to Josh.
Yeah.
You don't have that kind of time, Tim.
No.
Josh, just watch the fucking movies. Aaron, watch the
watch
fucking
movies, man.
Let me guess. He's got a cape, right?
Yes.
Oh, definitely. He's a superhero.
Yeah. I was picking the most obvious thing that I could be correct on because I haven't seen them.
Probably tights too.
No.
Nope.
No.
Robes, bud.
Robes.
So fucking
Gauntlet.
Like a monk with a cape?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on.
What else we got?
Next topic.
Next topic.
Due to the pandemic and the situation with everybody being quarantined and self-isolating, Roger Corman, famed B-movie producer and director with over 400 movies to his credit, has launched the Corman Quarantine Film Festival, hopefully the first and the last, as he states. And he's asking people to submit short films to him. This is actually kind of funny. I wanted to bring this up because it's already blowing up Instagram. So there's a couple of hashtags like #Corman Challenge and stuff like this. And you basically, the rules are It can't be any longer than 2 minutes. It has to be filmed on a phone. Editing is a different situation, but it has to be filmed basically using a phone and whatever lighting that you can produce with lamps and shit in your house. Should not be using anything professional whatsoever. Less than 2 minutes, and submit it on Instagram and tag him in it. And he said that he will watch them as they come in. So literally that's what he's doing. He's like 94 years old, and he's spending his days like watching these Corman challenge videos and commenting on them for people.
That's awesome.
You
I
should
want to do
just
that when I'm 94.
make a video of Adam picking his nose for 2 minutes and then know that he has to watch that.
Right.
Why do I have to be the fucking nose picker that's on video? Why couldn't fucking Tim do it?
Because it's not believable.
That's what I didn't want to go there, but
It's not believable if I do it. There's an air of class. There's an air of class here. Professionalism, right?
Oh, I thought you were trying to say that I'm like a better actor than you or something.
or
No.
just Adam.
Adam,
sitting in
I'm
the dark.
acting right now.
Adam sitting in the dark, and
That's
at like
stupid.
1 minute 38 seconds, he just belches, and that's it.
Wow.
Like
And then it's like
full-on
end
Barney
credits.
from The Simpsons. Yeah.
But no, it's a silent film. So like I open up
Oh.
my mouth and all of a sudden like the title card comes up. Belch.
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 That's classy.
That's
That's
actually
good.
really good, Adam.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir. What crawled down your throat and died? It didn't die.
Oh my. That's cool though. Although it kind of concerns me that people are just gonna make films with their friends and then break quarantines.
Right.
Well, actually,
Something went through my head when you mentioned it. Somebody's gonna breach the rules.
yeah, there are a couple that are currently under fire right now because it's like, are you sure you people are actually under quarantine together? Because you really don't look like you'd be fucking quarantined together. Like, you know, you're all like best friends and you don't look like you share an apartment. You know what I mean? That kind of a shit. So, I don't know. So, it's pretty cool. Cool idea. All right, moving on to the next topic of the night, gentlemen. So this one is kind of a funny topic as well, but I wanted to bring it up because the trailer's out there for this. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of fun. There is a Charles Bronson lookalike. Robert, what is his name? Robert Bronson?
Bronzy?
Yeah, Robert
Bronzy?
Bronson or Brazzi. He's going to be starring in a slasher horror flick now called Cry Havoc. And what's really interesting is that he's blown up in the past like year because he looks like Charles Bronson. I mean, I got a picture up of him right now, and he's been doing Death Wish styled homage movies since he was like discovered, and they're actually kind of fun. I watched one or two of them, and they're really fun.
Yeah.
However, the fact that he's going to be doing a horror movie, and what really kind of tipped me off on this is that when you watch the trailer, the serial killer is like this masked, you know, murderer with like barbed wire on the mask and shit like this. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool. But I've seen that. And I went and I looked it up, and the director himself, this is like the fourth movie in a series with this serial killing character in it, this masked murderer in it. And it just so happens that they brought on this character actor to kind of star in the fourth one in the series. So it's actually pretty nifty. I think the first one in the series was called like Playing with Dolls. And like the masked murderer has like, it looks like a deformed doll face, kind of like, for anybody who's seen it, Hills Run Red. It's very similar to the babyface mask, which is really cool. But yeah, Tim, you know about Bronzy.
Yeah, I've watched. There was this Instagram, this lady on Instagram I followed, and she was in one of the movies, and she showed a picture, and I'm like, oh, Charles Bronson's got a new movie out, and I'm like, wait a minute, Charles Bronson's dead, right? And it totally fucked with my head because of how much this guy looks like him. Like, it doesn't, like, he kind of looks like him. He fucking looks like him.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe he faked his death.
No, because this guy's, Charles Bronson would be in his fucking late 80s now if he was still alive. And this guy's, I think, maybe late 40s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like he's like a clone. It's
Love child.
Yeah.
it's so weird. It's so weird. And like, he's not American. He's
Bronson was a pretty popular fella.
Was he
He's
ever?
probably got some kids out there that he didn't know about.
But like even like the way like his mustache grows in is the same.
Weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've watched him before, and he basically does new versions of Charles Bronson movies.
The movies we never got while he was still alive.
Yeah.
It's fun. And yeah, if you ever get the chance, at least look up the trailer, Cry Havoc, because he literally has Charles Bronson down to a T, even from his acting. So like when you're watching him, it's not like, yeah, it could be Charles Bronson. It's like, fuck.
No, this is like
Charles
the
Bronson,
reincarnation
man.
of Charles Bronson. Yeah.
So definitely check that out. Next topic, going back to the Sam Raimi type of situation here. Because if you talk about Sam Raimi, you have to talk about Bruce Campbell officially signed on to star in Mallrats 2. That Kevin
So
Smith.
excited Josh is.
Oh, Bruce,
Yeah.
you dog.
You dog. Yeah. So Kevin Smith in Quarantine has basically stated, yeah, I'm like just about done the Mallrats 2 script, and I've already started signing people on. We're going to make this as soon as we can get done here. And the first person, like one of the first people he signed on was Bruce Campbell.
I fucking love Kevin Smith so much.
Yeah. I was actually just before we got onto this, I was watching in an evening with Kevin Smith. It's still on Netflix, and I was like dying laughing.
My God, he was big in those.
Yeah.
If you look at him now, he was a big dude.
Yeah.
You know how he lost all the weight, right?
Yeah, he became a vegan.
Well, yeah, he followed the Penn Jillette rule. He just ate potatoes for a month.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy. Just potatoes.
With nothing on them.
Nothing Penn Jillette lost like 200 pounds. He just, I guess I'm going to eat potatoes for a month.
Just potatoes.
No butter, no salt, nothing, just potatoes. And he reset his entire like digestive system and his taste buds. He said after that first 2 months, when he took his first bite of corn, he said it was the sweetest thing he ever ate in his life.
I'm intrigued.
Because your taste buds are just overloaded with sugar all day long, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
That is actually kind of almost like the keto diet then, except for it's just the potato diet. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just the crazy potato diet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Potato diet.
on the keto, aren't they?
What was that?
Potatoes are illegal on the keto.
They
Yeah,
are.
that's like the opposite.
Yeah.
They are. But what I'm saying is it's like the keto diet because
Right.
essentially when you come
The
out on the other side of it,
simplicity of the actual diet itself, it's...
yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time
What
you put sugar into your system after the keto diet, you're like fucking flying. It's like, the fucking world opens up. It's like you're on acid or some shit. You know what I mean? Because it's fucking crazy. But yeah.
I'm excited for Moose Jaws. I just want that finale of that trio.
Yes.
It'll happen at some point.
I hope so.
What kind of role is Bruce going to play in this movie? Do we know?
Oh, probably
Probably
Bruce
fucking
Campbell
manager of
plays
a
Bruce
fucking
Campbell.
mall.
Oh God, yes.
I hope he
That's what
replaces.
he's gonna be.
I hope he replaces Ben Affleck as the manager of that upscale
Yeah.
men's store.
Yeah. Yes.
Fucking
Yeah.
mall rats.
The janitor, Bruce Campbell janitor.
It's even better. Or he could do the Stan Lee role where he's like there as himself,
Yeah.
like signing shit at like some sort of like an
Gi-
Evil
gi-
Dead
giving
thing at the mall.
advice.
Yeah, giving advice. Make love the Bruce Campbell way. All right.
He could be the new gypsy.
Oh.
He's gonna have a third testicle, not nipple.
He'll have a
Third
third testicle. Yeah. T3.
It's a quality book, I tell you.
I love that. Got that book too. Yeah, E.T. the extra Eddie Torrance the extra testicle.
Right.
Oh,
Did I ever tell you the time that I bought 15 copies of Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way?
no, but we're about to, and I can't wait to hear this. Tell us the fucking story, Josh.
So the store I used to work at before I moved to the city was in a mall, and on breaks we'd always like walk to the mall and happen to go by the bookstore one day, and they got this big table with discount books out front, and wouldn't you know it, a whole stack of Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way on the discount rack, and I said, this is a travesty. I cannot stand for this. So I bought every single one of them.
Can I ask?
You still have them?
I got like 4 or 5. I gave them away as gifts for a lot.
Should hook it up.
Yeah, if you
Your
want
birthday's
one, you
coming
can
up in
have it.
August, bud.
There you go. I'll write you a special inscription. You can have
Awesome.
I, I gotta ask, how much per book did you buy it for?
it. Oh, they were like $5. It was criminal.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's literature gold.
It is a good book. I got a copy of it. It is a good book. I got mine for like $4 or $5 too. Yeah. So, all right. Make love the Bruce Campbell way. Mallrats 2. Bruce Campbell joining Kevin Smith on screen. 41 years ago today, April the 20th, Dawn of the Dead premiered 1979 in United States cinemas. One of the greatest zombie flicks ever made. Period.
What did you say? Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead.
I thought you said Day of the Dead. I was like, Dawn of the Dead's better, but you said Dawn of the Dead.
It is
so.
Dawn of the Dead, yes.
Carry on. Carry on.
Carrying on, Dawn of the Dead premiered once again in United States cinemas. 41 years. 41 fucking years ago, guys.
That's actually crazy.
It's ridiculous. And to this day, it's still got...
alive.
To this day, it's still got some of the most memorable kills. What? Aaron's got something. He's going to show us something. What is he doing? Or did he skip out to go to the bathroom?
No, I think he's got something. He's got something Day of the Dead or something Dawn of the Dead to show us.
What's he got?
What's he got? What is it? What is it?
Ooh, beaches!
Clamshell!
Is that the, what is that, the Anchor Bay release?
Yeah.
The Anchor Bay
anniversary
clamshell.
edition.
I remember that one. That one was
That's
great.
a good one.
That was
and the clamshell.
Yeah,
too.
when they came out with the fancy clamshell renditions of everything,
Yeah.
and they were all over the fucking Future Shop stores.
And there's Day of the Dead. Yeah.
I had to get both, right? I had to
Oh, of
collect.
course.
both.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're talking to the man who knows.
Josh knows this shit, man. Josh knows this shit.
I'm still looking for my Thorn release of Evil Dead. That's in a clamshell.
Well, yeah, I've seen that around.
Yeah.
I used to see that at, I think it was Future Shop or something.
The Thorn?
Oh yeah, back in the day probably.
Yeah.
What is it? The one like that? The clamshell like that? The Anchor Bay style one?
No, it's like a Disney clamshell. But the company's production is Thorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about. I used to see that on the shelves all the time too. I'm pretty sure, like I seen it at, there was like Ambassador Video back in like Sackville when I was living there.
Probably.
Had it. Yeah.
Now it's one of the more rare of the English Evil Dead VHSs.
One of these days, Josh will have that to complete his collection, and his collection
Okay.
still won't be complete.
Far from complete.
Never complete.
Far. I don't even have a Portuguese copy. I'm a pleb.
Fucking pleb.
Fucking pleb. Nice. All right, moving.
What else we got, Adam?
Next topic. Blumhouse and Stephen King has announced that Firestarter, the remake, will in fact shoot this year. So,
If
well,
things get lifted.
Well, yeah.
I'm assuming that at the very least they'll begin shooting it. They are saying that they want to complete it by the end of the year. But the way things are going now, no, I can't really say that they won't. I mean, look at the way that Trump's trying to open up the fucking economy right now. So they might start shooting in a month for all we know, for fuck's sake, down in the States.
100 new cases of COVID down in Florida today.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Screen Actors Guild's pretty
Pretty tight.
tight on ensuring the safety of their actors.
Yeah.
Hopefully so, because the last thing we want is, production on hold on Blumhouse's remake of Stephen King's Firestarter due to a mass amount of COVID-19 outbreaks that are going on set.
What I think is hilarious, this is kind of off topic, but it's very much on topic, is I keep seeing all these fucking videos of protesters going on saying that, like, it's made up and shit. Now, do I think the media is making it bigger?
Yes.
Like, more big? Yes.
Sure.
More big.
Sensational.
But do I I believe that this is a serious fucking
The virus exists.
right?
I think a high infection rate.
But I don't know. I'm in a gray area.
Well,
I'm in a gray area.
no.
Where
from what you
I
just described, you're not. You're just sane.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. Same.
Okay.
I'll take. But I mean, I don't know if you guys seen any of that footage. Like,
Yeah, they're mental.
Those protesters are hilarious because there's one right off the bat that I noticed. It was like, COVID-19's a lie, and he's wearing a fucking hazmat suit with a mask and shit. And I'm like,
what I think,
What?
someone wrote this in the comments, and I absolutely agree. Is okay. You guys want to go back to work, and you think it's all bullshit? Go back to work, but sign a waiver that if you get sick, you're fucked. You're not getting any of this vaccination. You're not you're fucked.
Yeah, but in the States, that's already how it is.
Oh, is it?
You don't get free Medicare.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
we won't even let you buy it. You're on the list.
You can't even spend your money on it.
You're blacklisted.
No, there's a lot of protest with people that are concerned about the civil liberties of it, because at the end of the day, what they're doing is, quote, unconstitutional, which in a state of emergency, that's kind of how it works. Sorry, bro.
It's true. And I mean,
sorry, bro.
I mean, it should never get to the point where you've got military roaming the streets and help, or, you know, trying to help out the situation by any means, or quote unquote try to help it out. But I mean, I look at it this way, and I stated this flat out as my general opinion on, you know, social media. All these people that are running around saying you're stepping on my social liberties, and I want to be doing this and doing that, and I'm like, you know, the longer this pandemic goes on, because people like you aren't listening, you're stepping on my social liberties.
The longer your liberties are going to be impeded,
and the longer that yours are going to be impeded, and you're fucking with me. Like, let's all like just try to get along here and just kind of at least put some of that into play. You know, help each other out a little bit.
True.
I think we need to be a little more vigilant though about our freedoms. Not necessarily about this one. I mean, this is an obvious kind of thing, but I really think that our freedoms are being taken away slowly on certain things. And
definitely.
I think if we're not vigilant, as you know, my grandfather fought, and a lot of other grandparents and everything fought for our liberties and our freedoms. I think there's got to be some sort of there's got to be a line there that when people come out of this, they understand that they still have their freedoms and their liberties, right?
Yeah.
And we can't let you know, the government elect decide that stuff for us. We have to speak up, I guess is the word.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things that's killing me right now is that I can't get to the archery range. So like I've had like a couple of months almost now where I've like had no time at the archery range. And I want to get ready for hunting season this year, and I can't go out in my backyard and shoot because I'm in a town where the bylaws you can't shoot a bow and arrow.
Isn't hunting season closed anyways? Didn't they already cancel that?
No, they pushed off fishing season for like another month or so, but hunting season is until October anyway, and they're basically just saying
so they haven't made that call
made that call. But I mean, even then, you know, we've got shoots and all kinds of stuff, and it's like, but I can't even go out in my backyard and shoot a bow and arrow and shit, and it's killing me. You know what I mean?
Single tier. All right. For you.
Thank you.
All right, we're getting pretty political.
Single sarcastic tier.
Single sarcastic tier. All right. Moving on. Next topic of conversation. Final topic that I have on the books tonight. Halloween,
the best one.
The Halloween Kills writer has stated that this movie is bigger, badder, and meaner than Halloween 2018.
Yes.
And?
Yes. Okay,
what do you mean, Josh?
Well, aren't we going to talk about the leaks that he's going to eat a baby?
He's not eating a baby. Why do you keep saying that? You're just ruining my topic. I didn't ruin your topics.
I heard that he's going to eat a baby.
All right, so
tasty babies.
The Michael Myers actor James Jude Courtney, he was talking about the tone of the second one, and the second one, or like the 2018 movie, was quite a bit of departure from the original one, because the original one, Michael is more stalking, and this he's like a unchained dog. And he's just killing a bunch of people. Well, this one is basically like the 2018, but apparently on steroids. The quote is, "I can't really say anything about it. I'm really excited about it. I saw the rough cut a few weeks ago. And, of course, I'm a little bit biased. But my gut says that people will like this new one a lot more. It's like the first one, but on steroids." And... you know, this one's also written by Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, also directed by David Gordon Green, and pretty much everybody that didn't die in the first one is returning for this one.
Nice.
So I'm fucking pumped. I'm so jazzed.
Yeah. Halloween 2018 was one of my most Jazz hands.
I think the beard, Aaron, made yours better when you did it. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry, Adam.
No, I was just saying, Halloween 2018 was one of my most excitable for movies. Like, it was one of the movies I was looking forward to the most, seeing in theaters in
Dude,
years.
I saw it in theaters the day it came out 3 times. Remember?
Yeah.
I went
You went.
Thursday night, okay? Premiere. I went Thursday night.
Yep.
Slept, went first thing in the morning with you.
Yep.
And then when I got home, ate supper, fucking went and saw it again. I saw it 3 times in 24 hours.
And you loved every.
And I
minute.
loved it all 3 times.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yes.
It was fantastic. I've seen it a shit ton of times lately. Like, I watch it every now and then just to fucking put it on because the movie gets a lot of shit from purists and horror fanatics that are, feel a certain way about the.
I'm like the biggest purist, and I didn't give it no shit. I thought it was a great movie, except for he should have killed the baby.
Last year was the first time. Normally, when I take the boy out trick or treating, we'll come back and my friend Andrew will come over and we'll watch Halloween. And what we did last year was we watched Halloween and then immediately watched Halloween 2018, and it was awesome.
Oh, it feels great watching them back to back.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, for years it was always Halloween 2, and I always have a spot in my heart for Halloween 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Six?
Yeah. Maybe, but definitely not fucking Resurrection or any of that shit. So, oh well. Okay.
I'm kind of curious how they're gonna make him bigger, badder, and meaner. Like he was pretty unstoppable.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna have a couple more. I already read a leak, like so I already know the basics of what happens. But I think what they're going to do is they're just going to amp up the amount of screen time that we have Michael killing people.
Yeah.
Really. Because, I mean, he doesn't use guns. He doesn't use explosives. He's not a fucking action hero. It's all going to be bladed weapons or brute force. I just think it's going to be more of that, like, the frequency of it is going to be...
I want to see at least one incident where I'm surprised, where he is so completely and utterly soulless and brutal that I'm just taken back and being like, wow, this just happened.
I kind of got that vibe when he killed the kid in the truck.
Yeah, in 2018, that was close.
I didn't think he was going to kill a kid, and he killed a kid, obviously because he had a gun, and he needed the vehicle. He killed the kid.
But
I like that kid.
I do remember
seeing in his heart.
I do remember seeing that scene in 2018 going, the game just fucking changed.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe you said it, and I told you to be quiet because we were watching the movie.
Shut up, Adam.
Shut up! This is only my second time watching this.
I've only seen this movie 8 times in the last 24 hours.
Oh my.
Shut up, Josh.
Shut up.
Open topic of conversation, guys. Anything else you want to throw on there?
How many movies did Adam get duped by watching fucking Netflix trailers?
One too many.
I'm gonna say 5 that I can remember.
We playing Price is Right rules?
That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number because
I'm gonna say 5.
I think it's higher than 5.
I honestly think that it's happened and he just hasn't talked about it.
Yeah, definitely. If we're talking every time in Adam's life that he saw or has heard of a movie and got excited for it and then became ultimately disappointed when he saw or heard that movie finally.
Oh man, if you watch some of the original fucking They Cast episodes when it was me, Adam, and Dave, Adam was he was so excited
hyping him
about
up. So excited about something.
Crappy
always.
Fucking movies, and I could just tell they were crappy by watching the trailer, right?
Oh, fuck, poor guy.
That was like
he just had a big hurt.
I'm talking so far back when Adam was like really trying to get a beer sponsor. Do you remember? And you're like, yeah,
first like 4 episodes.
What?
In the first like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
He just has a big heart. He sees those trailers and he sees the people on the Facebook saying, "This is the new bestest horror," and he's like, "Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be."
And then he watches it, and it's like, "Oh, ecto semen."
Always going back to the fucking ecto semen because it was terrible. Oh well. At least I'm not. At least I've learned my lesson, Tim. I will be honest. It's not like now I sit.
No, you
it's not like I sit there now going,
the next episode.
"This is gonna be a great movie," and then I watch it disappointed.
Do it the next episode, and then you have another topic for fucking rated S for shit. That's how it works, Adam. It's a cycle.
Yeah. I'm thinking like at least 80, over under probably 10.
Yeah, you're probably really fucking close at that point, Josh. And I still say to this day, the movie that I was excited for the most and disappointed me the fucking most still has to be Muck.
The fuck is Muck? I never even heard of it.
Fuck Muck! Like, that movie is bullshit!
Who looked up a film and said it called Muck and was like, fuck, this is going to be the one?
Adam did.
So it was a movie.
Why?
So I'm just going to put it out there again. I'm going to give you the 30-second tour of that movie. It was a movie that went on to Kickstarter. A guy said that he had the greatest idea for it. He was going to put a whole bunch of B-movie actors into it, and he was hiring Kane Hodder to be like his main villain in the movie. Kane Hodder had already like signed on and everything. And there was like some sort of like a little snippet that they had filmed and all this kind of shit. It looked pretty good. And it went to like some little festival, and the festival blew up, apparently saying it was like the greatest fucking horror movie since like Adam Green's Hatchet, like old school American horror.
Oh, fuck, Hatchet's so good.
And I'm like, well, this is it. And I'm like, I love Hatchet, so this is going to be a great fucking movie. The movie.
Josh, have you seen Hatchet?
Hold on. I believe I did see the first one. Yeah. I know I've seen Frozen.
Yeah.
But I never saw Victor Crowley.
Well, Victor Crowley's the fourth one in the series.
Yeah.
So, but this movie basically exists. It starts in the middle of a fucking situation, gives you no real backstory as to how the people got into it, and it has some of the stupidest fucking writing almost ever put to fucking cinematic, history. To the point where this guy leaves his friends at a fucking summer house to go get help, runs down the road, gets to a bar, and instead of saying, I need to call the cops, I need to, like, we're in trouble, blah, 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 he walks in, sees a whole bunch of people, straightens up his clothes, goes into the bathroom, freshens up, comes out and starts hitting on a chick.
Oh, okay.
And then asks her to use his cell phone, and instead of calling the cops, calls some random fucking guy that's just being introduced to come and pick them up.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah,
talking
about this fucking movie.
I'm done.
Terrible fucking movie. So,
yeah,
excellent. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about? No. All right, consider that done. Another episode, live roundtable episode of They Cast from the Coast. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been a great episode. Good topics of conversation. So check us out on Facebook. Like and subscribe and follow the page on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube, where all of our videos will be premiering and are stored for everybody to watch and share and like and everything else. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on all of the podcasting platforms that we're actually part of. We are part of the Spotify platform, iTunes, Google Play, all the major broadcasting and platforms that are out there for podcasts. And we're also on Patreon, by the way. So open up your hearts and your wallets. And until next time, Tim.
Stay spooky and wash your hands. Wash your fucking hands.
Josh.
In a little bit of change of operations, I don't have a witty one-liner. In honor of the great Tim Curry's 74th birthday, I just want to put the question out to all of our viewers. What is your favorite Tim Curry film?
Well, before we end the show, that'll have to be what we have to answer real quick. But Aaron.
What do you want? Do you want him to say goodbye? Do you
Both.
want him to say the fucking...
Say goodbye and...
Come on. I gotta go to the washroom and freshen up.
Adam was like, holy shit, he's leaving.
He's like, I'm done with this bullshit, Ginger. Say goodbye to everybody, Aaron. All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. And real quick, as we go around the table, my favorite Tim Curry role, Frankenfurter. Josh, what's yours?
Long John Silver and Muppets Treasure Island.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Tim.
It's a toss-up. Obviously Pennywise, but I'm very partial to Home Alone 2.
Nice. Aaron.
I love him in Home Alone 2. Pizza?
Pizza. Aaron, favorite Tim Curry.
Pizza?
Wow, obviously legend.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, that's a drastic change between all of us, guys. So, but Legend's great too. They're all good.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with Tim Curry. So, check out some Tim Curry movies in honor of Tim Curry's birthday, everybody. And until next time, thanks for stopping by. Bye.
Good night.